Thank you very much for accepting this interview for Scrolls of Dartmouth.
Thank you for having us.
We are having Nekromant from Sweden here. How are you guys? You have just passed the half of your tour in support to your latest album,
Yes,
The Nekromant
yeah.
Lives On. How was the reaction so far to the new songs? How do you feel on this tour?
It's been good. It's been really good actually. We have yet to have a bad gig, so we're content with it. Obviously a little tired now. This is our 7th date in a row, so we are not very tired, but a little bit tired.
Cool. Speaking about tours, I know that this is your second time here in Budapest. The first one was when you were called Serpent,
Yes.
like 2 years ago. What memories do you have of that show, if any?
It was a really nice surprise.
Yes.
I think we didn't really think there were going to be a lot of people, and the promoter didn't think so either. So when he had to pay us when they got to a certain amount of people, so he was quite surprised. I have to pay you guys. But it was really good, and there has been some people writing that saw us the last time that I think is going to come here.
Hopefully.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. And what expectations do you have for tonight?
We don't really know what to expect. Obviously, this is a kind of a new city for us. We've never been here like as civilians, but then we've been here as a band once, like you said. But we have no expectations at all, really. It's a Sunday. We don't know how you guys do on Sundays. If you go out to gigs in Sweden, we don't. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5 people, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's 50 either. I don't know. I have no expectations whatsoever.
I understand. Speaking about Serpent and about Nekromant, from the first Serpent album to the last one, I have noticed quite an evolution in your music. Maybe it's a stupid question, but how was that possible? Did you evolve also as musicians? Did you change your way of composing and your way of writing? Even if you are still playing the same genre, so to speak, but you have evolved a lot.
In what way, you mean? What do you think?
I think that this album, even if I hate this cliche, is more mature than all the others.
Oh yeah.
And it shows that you have improved. But I was wondering how was the writing process in between those 4 albums?
4 albums?
Serpent and Nekromant.
Oh yeah. You're counting the really old one as well.
Yeah, of course.
Well, for the first album, which we don't like promote at all anymore, the Slaves of Babylon album, it was just me and Adam, just having pretty much unlimited time in the studio and just having a good time and writing songs. So that wasn't really a band at all.
Okay.
We called it Serpent because we were planning to start up something. We were looking for a decent singer, and we're looking for a drummer and all of things. And that album is also written to be 2 guitars. So we generally don't like put our name on that anymore. We're not ashamed of it or anything. It's a good album, but it's not our band now, obviously.
Okay.
And the second Serpent album, which we consider to be the first when we 3 got together and started to make songs together. I think it's pretty common for every band, to make the first album is a little bit of like, if euphoria that you have found some guys to play with, and it's like really fun and then you like find your sound and you find your things that you want to do that feel good. And I don't know if we changed that much, but sure matured a bit. I agree with that. I can't really tell you any specifics how we came about that, but that shit just happens, It's I think all bands like mature in a way, in a certain direction.
It comes with age and
it comes with playing together for a number of years, and we found out what we wanna do and what we wanna sound like.
Cool. And talking about your first album as Nekromant, Saints and Liars, Snakes and Liars.
Yes.
Snakes and Liars. I was wondering from the first time I heard this album, who are those serpents and those snakes and liars you are talking about?
Well, the song "Snakes and Liars" is kind of about, you know, people that you meet when playing that maybe aren't so very professional in what they are doing, something like that. And that can be like if you come to a place and the promoter kind of fucks you up in a way, but it's most about you know, the people that took contact with us and told you, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do everything, we're gonna be amazing, and then nothing happens. That's probably the snakes and liars that I'm talking about there.
So it's a message to the.
It's not a real message. I mean, it's a song. I mean, it's a song. You gotta have a lyric to a song, and I thought it was a appropriate subject. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And a cool title.
And a cool title. Oh, that's the first thing. Yeah.
It suits the new logo and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Cool. And on this album there is a song called Spelleman, if I'm if I'm pronouncing correctly, which roughly translates as player man, kind of musician, right?
Yeah.
It's a very atypical song compared to the others on that album. To be honest, it reminded me of Viking band from 20 years ago. For example, I imagine Manegarm from Sweden could have played that song because it has a very, as I said, Viking pagan vibe to it. I found it extremely interesting. How did you put it on that album? Just to be
Well, it's a cover song.
It's a cover song.
It's a cover song.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a very, very old song. It's I think it was recorded at first in like the 30s.
Really?
By a guy. What's his
I
name?
don't know. We talked about it a lot. But it's a lyric. By the lyrics is by Don.
The lyrics is by a poet called Don Andersson.
The music from Torstein.
Yeah, the music from our version is from Torstein Bergman. He's a Swedish composer. But I think it was recorded first by. It's very embarrassing that I don't remember his name because it's on our on our record. But it's a very old song. It's a Swedish old folk song, which I first came in contact with while listening to the radio many years ago. And I heard this song that I thought it sounded like. It's of course it's a folk song, but it sounded really dark and real doomy. The lyrics are basically that it's a guy who plays the like lute or something. I don't know. And he doesn't want to do any manual labor, you know. He just want to play, and he doesn't care if he gets starved or poor. He just want to play. And I played that song at a funeral for my grandmother's brother. So that's the first time I came in contact with it because she requested that I would play and sing it. So that's when I arranged it up to do it like a heavy metal song, you know. So we just thought it was a cool song to add, and it's maybe a little bit unusual to have like an old 30s song on a heavy metal record. So.
Yeah, but I think it's the best way to finish that album.
Yeah, it turned out good. Yeah, we're satisfied with this.
Cool.
We never played live though. we don't.
So no plans.
No.
Okay.
No.
Too bad. I was hoping to hear it.
No, sorry.
And another thing which I noticed concerning your discography, you have 4 albums. We already talked about that. They all contain 9 songs, and they all spin around 35 minutes, more or less. Is that one of your recipes, or it just happened? 9 songs around 35 minutes, and that's it. We're done. From my point of view, this is amazing because it keeps you focused on the songs. You know, your attention is not diverted, and you are listening to that album.
We kind of think about not playing, even when we go play live. We don't want to play too long, and we don't want the records either to be too long. But then there can't be too short either because there's record labels and such. So, but I think it's when we have like this sounds like a record when you have like 9 songs that also fit together as a record. So I don't think there's not a special thought that it should be like
No.
exactly 9 songs.
Not at
or
all.
anything.
It's not intentional in that way. It just turned out that way. As the third album goes, I mean, we done, as we see it, then 2 albums in the beginning, because we don't really count the first one as us 3. When we've done 9 songs, we might want to do the new record with 9 songs just for the fuck of it, you know, because of those questions.
Yeah, because it's unusual nowadays. There are a lot of bands who are releasing albums which are 1 hour long or more than 1 hour, and it's at some point it's really boring, and you just skip the tracks. And
Yeah, we never been much for, you know, like the jamming on record type of things. We tend to write songs which are very like concrete and precise, and we release those. So we don't have to. We don't want to like drag out an instrumental part of a song in all eternity just to fill up some time. It doesn't make any sense.
We don't usually like those long intros and stuff like that.
No, we don't.
cool. Guys, thank you very much for your time. These were the questions. A short interview, but you don't have too much time, so
Yeah.
thank you very much. And
Thank you.
as always, the last words are yours. If you want to add something to this.
Want to add something to this? What should we add? We should add that we released a new album last Friday. You should all check it out, obviously. But we are also planning on recording another album, which we've written about 4 songs for now. So keep an eye out for that as well.
And it will have exactly 9 songs.
Exactly 9 songs, exactly 35 minutes, because that's the thing we do. Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot.